Hello, we meet again for another Best of Beauty video. Today's video is going to be on Best of Beauty eyes. These were my favorite eye products that I used in 2016. Last week, I did a Best of Beauty face product video. I also did a blog post, Best of Beauty brushes. This is part of a Best of Beauty series, so I have plenty more to come. The blog post in the YouTube video that I already threw out there will be linked down below, as well as in the corresponding blog post to this video. Just like in the last video that I did on face products, I had mentioned that there could be many items, many products that I love in one category, but to do these videos, I'm choosing the products that I go to when I want to look my absolute best. And these are basically the products that I used the most in 2016. So I really had to narrow it down. I'm also going to do the same thing like I did in the face YouTube video, where I'm going to talk about each product in the order of application that I would put it on. So without further ado, let's get started. The number one thing that I put on when I'm doing my eyes is primer. And you know, when I can find a drugstore product, I'm all about it. And I've got a drugstore product for you. This is the Milani eyeshadow primer. This stuff is awesome. I've used it for years. It's basically a dupe to the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Many of you are familiar with this. They got it at the drugstore. Why not go to it? Ah! Can you say eyeshadow palette hoarder? That would be me. When it comes to eyeshadows, I don't know. I don't know where to begin because I love my palettes for sure. But what happens is sometimes I will find a lid shadow in one palette and a crease shadow in another palette and a highlight in another palette. So when it comes to shadow palettes, I really cannot pinpoint one particular palette. I wish I could. I think there are so many awesome ones. This Tartelette in Bloom just came into the arsenal and I'm loving it. Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette, the original. Can't get enough of this, have loved it for years. I would be lost without my Lorac Pro palette. This is probably one of the palettes that I recommend the most if somebody asks me, what palette do you recommend? If you recommend one giant one, this would be it. Naked palettes. Can't go wrong. This is the original one. I would say because I'm more of a cool tone girl, the Naked palette 2 probably would flatter me more, but this one came out first. This is the one I have. I have this smoked, Urban Decay smoked palette. The beauty with this palette here is it has all my different colors. It has a green that I love. It has a blue that I love, and I apologize for the doorbell. And it has a purple one that I love. Plus this palette has some neutral tones. I guess what I would recommend when shopping for a palette, there's a lot of nude palettes out there. You really only need one good nude palette, and you have to determine if you look better in your warm tone colors or if you look better in cool tone colors. When getting your naked or nude palette of choice, you're going to just want to make sure that they are the undertone that flatters you. You also want to make sure that you have plenty of matte shadows in there. The only place that I really ever place shadow is on the lid. At my age, matte shadows work best creased on up. So just a little tip for you there. I do have a couple little drugstore trios though that I do want to recommend. I don't know if one of them is still available. This one is by NYX or NYX. Got this a while back. It's called Rock and Roll. There you go, Rock and Roll. But yeah, this is just a perfect kind of smoky eye palette. It's got a nice lid shade right there. It's got a nice outer V shade there, like a charcoal color, and then it's got your nice highlights. So this has been a great palette for me to travel with because I can pull it smoky or I can pull it a little bit more natural and nude. So would love this one again, NYX Rock and Roll. I'll look and see if that's available. Another one that I love, this is one of my all-time favorite palettes. It's by Wet n Wild and it's called Silent Treatment. Again, So many wonderful things you can do with this. You could smoke this one out if you wanted to as well. It's a little broken, so I have to be careful, but I love this shade down here for my lid. It's very flattering. This is a beautiful sparkly, kind of a charcoal, but it's almost got a little bit of a plumness to the charcoal for your outer V, or to smoke it out a little bit, and then you've got a great brow bone highlight. This does have a little bit of shimmer. It's not matte, but I can wear it. It's not too much. So Silent Treatment by Wet n Wild. If you're a cool tone babe, even if you're not, I think everybody could use this, and it's probably a couple bucks. Can't go wrong. While we are on the subject of palettes, I do want to recommend a couple that came into my makeup caddy in 2016. These are by Makeup Forever. One is called the Artist Shadow. They're both Artist Shadows. There's just different numbers for different ones. But I picked up this palette right here in the springtime, and this one has a lot of shimmer tones, but it has beautiful ones that you can work with. Nice turquoise shades. We have some plum over here. I love this little lilac or lavender shade here, pulling in that yellow for some fun, or how about this coral? This is really a fun palette. I recommend that you have a couple fun palettes. Some with some nice color that you can play around with and have fun with. And you know what, ladies? You're not too old to do that. You just have to experiment a little, maybe on an off day, get familiar with it, and have a little bit of fun. It all washes off at the end of the day. That's what I love about makeup. This one down here is a perfect one for me because it has all matte shadows, and I love my mattes. So, very flattering. This is such a beautiful shade on me. This is such a beautiful shade. So much I can do with this palette. So this is one that can travel very easily with me. A lot of the palettes will have a nice sparkly or satin inner corner highlight that you can use. But you know one that I've been using for years, so this is going to be an honorable mention. This is by MAC, and it's called Shroom. And I have used this forever with a teeny tiny little pencil brush just to go in the inner part. Let me see if I can find that brush actually right here. So what I do is I just take a teeny tiny pencil brush like this, tap it in there, tap it off, and then just go right here into the inner corner on both sides, just for a little inner corner highlight. Sometimes I will see people do a little bit too frosty there. I don't really recommend you doing a frost. This one is actually a satin, which is perfect because it's just got a little bit of that shimmer, but it's not too much. Moving right along, next on the agenda here is eyeliners. And I don't really use a liquid eyeliner, but in a way it is. It's more of a pen form. And this is the Kat Von D Ink Liner in Trooper. Again, used it for a long time. I love how easy it is to work with. If you are not good with a liquid liner, I would say this would be a great one to go to. One of the other things that I look for in a liquid liner is I want it to be a deep, dark, matte black. And for some reason, that's very hard to find. The ink liner by Kat Von D does the trick. Got one here, got an old one here, and I probably have one in my stash. Moving along to gel eyeliner. I do love a good gel eyeliner, and many of you have probably heard of the MAC Black Track. Again, this is going to be a matte, deep, dark black. It's very easy to use and work with. Some of the gel liners can get kind of dry. This one doesn't do it. There is a drugstore dupe, and I have purchased it before, and I have used it, and I've loved it. So I am going to link that one down below. It's by Essence. I think it's only $2.99. The Essence cosmetic line is sold at Ulta. You can also get it online at Ulta. It's basically a dupe. The only reason I have this one is I got it in a holiday kit. I love MAC mascara. My mascara came in a little kit, came with this, and it came with a little liner brush, so I couldn't pass it up. But yeah, MAC Black Track or the Essence one, both will do the job. Moving along to black pencil eyeliner, and speaking of Essence again, these are by Essence. They're both the same. I keep one in my makeup caddy. I keep one in my handbag. This is the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in Black Fever, and they certainly are long lasting. I originally purchased these for the waterline. I heard they were great, especially for your upper waterline as well as the lower for the staying power. And that's very hard to do when you're working with the inner water lines. A lot of times our eyes will water, or just that moisture will make them rub off. Not with these. These get the job done. So love them. They are retractable, so that might be a little downfall if people like more of a more of a sharpened pencil for the top, but they do the job for me. I love these for $2.99. You just can't beat it. Now, when it comes to colored eyeliner pencils, Urban Decay 24/7 does the job. They have so many colors, you can't beat it. I have a couple different plummy purples. I have this beautiful deep hunter green with a blue undertone. Invasion, one of my favorites. I love it. Demolition, this is a brown, great cool tone brown. They have beautiful warm tone browns. You just need to find what works for you. They even have a sparkly black and a couple different sparkly ones if you really want to play it up like around a holiday time or something like that. And then I love this smoke, which is more of a charcoal. All these shades look great on me. Urban Decay, they knock it out of the park when it comes to colored eyeliner pencils, and really their lip pencils are basically the same. They have just oodles and oodles of colors. I'm also a nude eyeliner junkie, and this Scandalized by Rimmel in the color nude is perfect for your waterline. What this is going to do is when you get your makeup all done and you pop this nude liner in your lower waterline there, you are going to look so rested, so wide awake, because it's going to take all of that red out of there. The staying power is awesome. You watch those newscasters on TV that look so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, they're not. They wear nude liner on the inner waterline, including the men. Look close. If it looks nice and flesh toned there, it's because a lot of them are using this. It's great for television, it's great for photography. Today I did my inner waterline with a black, or actually I used the Smoke by Urban Decay. Yeah, this one here. Nope, that's Demolition. Anyway, I used the Smoke, which is the charcoal color. It's not so harsh as much as a black would be, but I do use black. But on days that I don't want to have that more dramatic look on my eyes, love the nude liner. You're gonna look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Go get yourself some. They're at the drugstore. Who has 2 eyelash curlers? I do! What can I say? Hey, we can't all be low maintenance. Some of us have to be high maintenance, right? Crazy thing about the eyelash curlers is I do use both of them every day. I know, not right, not right. The other weird thing is I have one by Shiseido, something like that. And it probably cost close to $30, I know. For this little gadget. It lasts forever. But then I also love the e.l.f. one, which I think is like $3. So go figure. I need them both. We got the high end, we got the low end, but basically what I do before I apply any of my mascara with the Shiseido, curl my eyelash, then I take it out, I apply mascara, I wait a little bit. You might not want to try this if you're worried about losing lashes. I've never lost any. I will use this one again, do another coat of mascara, and then a little bit later in my makeup application, I don't know why, because the e.l.f. one hits my lashes a little bit differently. I will use this one, and it just gives that final little curve and bend and lift to the lashes, and then I will apply one more coat of mascara. So I know. And then I put falsies on a lot of times on top of it, so there you go. Weird, I know. Mascara. Mascara is just very hard for me. It really is, because there are really so many that I love. I actually have a blog post on my website about the mascaras that I love, and I have drugstore and I have higher end. I'm just gonna link that below, because every mascara that I talk about in that blog post, I still love. I really do, but I love trying out new mascaras as well. One of the mascaras that's in that blog post, and I would say I probably used it the most in 2016, but not towards the end of the year, because I was trying new ones towards the end of the year, but it is the CoverGirl, the Super Sizer. I don't know what it is. You would think this was a high-end mascara. It works so good. It's got a interesting wand. It is not like the big bristles that you get with some of them. This is like plastic with just little teeny tiny plastic bristles. But there is just something about this mascara. I don't think I've ever heard anything negative said about this. So if you are looking for a powerhouse drugstore mascara and you've never tried the Super Sizer, I'm gonna recommend that you do that. I'm gonna recommend that you give this one a shot because you can save yourself a lot of money by purchasing drugstore mascaras, because I would say that's probably the biggest thing that people are repurchasing on a regular basis. There is one by MAC. It's in that blog post. I absolutely love it. I love one by NARS. That's a beautiful one. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Currently, I am trying the Dior Show Blackout. Now, this would be a pricey one. This was a Christmas gift, and I'm liking it. I'm loving it. I'm wearing it today. So I may update that blog post and add in a few more, because what works for one person may not work for another person. I don't have the best lashes. They're not super long, they're not super short, they're not super light because I'm a dark-haired person, but my lashes are poker straight going outward. Some mascaras will give them lift initially, and then boom, they come down and they're poker straight. So one of the things that I look for in a mascara is once I curl them and once I apply my mascara, it has to hold that curl. And the ones that I love do that for me. Again, we all have different lashes. So I have plenty to choose from, but I would have to say the showstopper, we have lots of drugstore stuff going on, which is nice, but yeah, the CoverGirl, the Supersizer, works like a champ every time. When it comes to the lower lash line, I don't deviate. I have been using the Maybelline Lash Discovery Mini Brush Mascara since as long as I can remember. I don't know if this mascara is specifically made for the lower lash line. I've never looked at the reviews or what the speculations are on it, but it has a teeny tiny wand. I can't bring it close to the camera. My lens won't let me without it blurring, but just a little teeny tiny lens, and it is just so perfect for working those little teeny tiny lashes. I've never deviated from this. I know that MAC has one for that and maybe Clinique, but I'm kind of like, this is drugstore. This is a powerhouse. Why would I try something that is gonna cost me more money when I've nailed it with a drugstore item? So yep, try it out if you haven't tried this one. Save yourself some money. Moving on to false lashes. For those of you that follow me, you know I'm a false lash junkie, and I'm proud to say it. I love false lashes. They just make me happy. My favorite, my go-to, I have two that I use. One is more dramatic and one is a little bit more everyday. And the ones that are more everyday I'm wearing today. I've loved these for years. So many people love them. They are by Ardell. They are called the Demi Wispies. Salon Perfect, which is another brand of false lashes, they also carry the Demi Wispies. They're no different. It's just sometimes you'll find the Salon Perfect, sometimes you'll find the Ardell, and a lot of times, like at Walmart, you can get them in these multi-packs. I reuse my false lashes so many times that a pack like this lasts me forever. And I actually, because I don't have a really wide eye, I actually have to clip these a little bit narrower to fit my eye perfectly. So bear that in mind when you start working with false lashes, if that's something that interests you. But yeah, I love both the types that I use, but these are more everyday. I think anybody would use these and not feel like they went too dramatic. The other thing too is I had a lash adhesive by Revlon that I loved, but I can no longer find it. And I wanted to find a good dupe for it, and I ended up finding one. So my lash adhesive, it's called Strip Lash Adhesive. I don't really even see the brand. That's all it says, a Strip Lash Adhesive. It's in clear, but I like that it is a little tube like this. It goes on white, which that is important to me because I want to see it go on the band. I want to be able to see how much I'm applying. But when it dries clear, which is also very important to me because you don't want to see any white. And I know you can get these in black as well, but again, if I'm putting black on a black band, I can't see it. And I like to be able to see my adhesive just to see how much I'm putting on there. And then the important thing is you always want to let it set up a little bit and get tacky before you apply them. So this has been great. Basically, it's just a dupe for the Revlon. The thing I like better about this one though is it doesn't goop up around the top where the Revlon one did. I also want to share a little something for you. A friend of mine got me this so cute false eyelash case for Christmas. And how cute is this? It's just plastic. You open it up if I can get it open, and it will hold 3 sets of your false eyelashes. So in here right now, this set that I have in here is the other set, the more dramatic one, which is actually the Red Cherry Lashes number 43. I have them, I'll link them because if you like really vavoom lashes, you're gonna love those. But it's just so awesome. This is just a great little unit to keep your lashes in. So I'm gonna link this below too. I think it comes in the color pink. It's just from Amazon, but how adorable. Because we're talking about eyes, I have a couple tools that I have to mention because I can't do my false eyelashes without them. Here's some little trimmers. Not only do I use these trimmers for my eyebrows, but these are the little trimmers that I use to trim down my false lashes so that they'll fit me. The other thing is I love the mini Tweezerman tweezers. They have to be the mini. They come in a little clear tube. You can get them in different colors. I have a pink pair. I also carry a pair in my handbag because if you're a false eyelash wearer, you just never know when you're going to need to touch them up. I've been doing false eyelashes for so long that I really never, ever, ever have them lift. But it is handy to have tweezers. I have some other reasons I carry tweezers on me as well. Maybe some stray hairs that show up in natural daylight that we didn't see when we were getting ready. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. But yeah, I can't go without mentioning the tools because these are used all the time, pretty much on a daily basis. We are getting there. We are getting there. Moving on to brows. I love brows. Oh my gosh, brows just make me happy. Good brows, that is, not bad brows. Let's start with the eyebrow pencil. Anastasia, if I'm saying that right, Anastasia, people say it differently. I think it's Anastasia, don't know, don't care. But I love their Brow Wiz. I wear the shade medium brown. It Cosmetics has a dupe for this, but I've had bad luck with it falling out, so I had to go back. They're about the same price, but I've been using this for a long time. I love the fact that it is very, very fine. The pencil, it's retractable, but it is very teeny tiny and fine. It's not too soft, which is very important to me. I don't want something super soft. I wanna set it and forget it, and that's what this will do for you. The other nice thing is on the other side, you have a little teeny tiny spoolie, and this comes in handy. So this is perfect. I will say that Maybelline has a wonderful product that I think is very similar to this. I wear the shade medium. I will try to find it and link it below because it's a perfect drugstore dupe. This is another thing I go through a lot of, so it can be very expensive. So if you can find a drugstore one, that's always awesome. But I always go back to this one. The drugstore one by Maybelline, I know it's in a green tube and my girls all use it. The shade medium just isn't quite as perfect of a color as this one, but other than that, it applies the same and it wears the same. So that's definitely a recommendation. And like I said, I'll link it below. After I use the Brow Wiz pencil though, I do move on to my dusty, my dark brown brow powder duo. Again, I wear dark brown. The reason that I like the dark brown in this is because the medium brown, which I said I use medium brown in the pencil, but the medium brown in the powder is too warm toned. And again, I'm not warm toned, I'm more cool toned. So the dark brown works better for me. I do use both the shadows and I use it with one of my favorite brushes. This brush is linked in my Best of Beauty Brushes blog post. I don't think there's anything better than this brush. I'm so glad I have it. But yeah, I do use both the colors. So definitely I use a combination. I do spend some time on my brows. They just aren't like they used to be. I don't have bad brows, but they aren't like they were when I was younger. They've definitely lost their oomph. Let's just put it to you that way. I also like to set my brows, and there's some great clear brow gels out there, but I happen upon this L'Oreal Brow Styler Plumper Brow Gel Mascara. And this is in the shade, oh boy. Good luck, Trace. Good luck reading this. I don't even know what shade it is. It's gotta be some type of brown. But yeah, little teeny tiny wand, as you can see, just like that. And it's so perfect at the end just to put this in, just to set it and forget it. I also do have a blog post on my website about my brow products and routines. So again, I will always link anything that's corresponding to something I'm talking about down below as well as in my blog post. That is everything. That's everything to do eyes from start to finish. And I love doing eyes. I love playing. I love trying new techniques and stuff like that. So I just think have fun with it. Now, before we finish up, I do have to say there are a couple products that I carry with me wherever I go. If you recall when I did my Face Best in Beauty video, I talked about how I do carry some touch-up products with me. Eyes are no different. I've already talked about these products, but I do want to mention these are the ones that I carry with me. So I always have the Essence Black Fever eyeliner in my handbag, in my little pouch, my cosmetic pouch in my handbag, because no matter what, I always, no matter how nude I go or dramatic I go, I always do my upper waterline. I just think that makes your lashes look so much thicker. Ladies, if you aren't doing it, give it a shot. It's a changer. I just think, a lot of times I can see people's skin there, and I just think if you could put that black in there, it is just gonna make your lashes look so much thicker. So that's a little trick that a lot of people don't do, but I think they would benefit from. So this is always with me, no matter where I go, because you never know. This is long wearing, but you just never know when you have to touch up. The other thing that I always have in there is one of my nude liners. Even on a day like today when I'm not wearing a nude liner and I'm wearing the black, this is just always in there. Both of these, I always have two. I always keep one in my makeup caddy, and I always keep one in my handbag. So when I run out of one, even if I have the other one, I still want to replace the one because I always need to have two. Another thing that I carry with me, and I don't know if I have one, that's not the right one, but probably in my little cosmetic pouch in my handbag, I carry a Q-tip, a little bit different than this one. It's a Q-tip like this, like the normal ear swab on one end, but it is a pointy tip on the other end. And what I carry that for is if you ever have any of your liner travel to the inner part of your eye, it is so perfect to just take that little pointy Q-tip, touch it in there, and clean that out. The other useful tool for it is to use the other side, which looks like the ear swab. And if you ever just feel like a little bit of shadow or anything has deposited down underneath, this is so great just to touch up under your eye, basically where your under eye concealer and setting powder is. So I always have one of those. If I use it, next time when I get home or whatever, I replace it. The last thing that I want to mention that I do carry with me is a little bottle of Nafcon A. It's for red eye relief and it works really well. It's a little bit more pricier. It is drugstore, but you know, you just never know when you're a little bit tired looking and you're a little bit red and you just need to tip back and put a little bit of eye drop in. So that is another thing. It's really small, which is perfect and handy to carry with you. I don't have one on me, but that is another product that I do carry on me. Well, there you have it. My best of beauty eyes. These are my loves. These were my most used eye products of 2016. Next up, I'm going to do best of beauty lips. So stay tuned for that. And don't forget to watch my best of beauty face video that I already did and check out that brushes blog post as well. Everything that I'm wearing, I will link below. This top, I will link. This ring, I will link. Nail polish, this shellac, so I can't help you out there. My lipstick combination for today will be linked below. Yeah, if you have any questions or any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. If you have some wonderful, awesome eye products you want to share with everybody in our community, please let us know. We are working together to become more beautiful in the inside as well as the outside. Thank you so much again for joining me today. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to my website, head on over there and subscribe there as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video.